Hello friends, welcome to all. Myself Vishal Chogidas. Today we will discuss about capacitive method for level measurement, and this topic is covered in the subject of industrial instrumentation. So before starting this, first we will revise our previous lectures. In our previous lecture, we have seen different method for level measurement. So we have seen that there are two main methods, direct methods and indirect methods. In direct method there are three types of methods available: hook type level indicator, sight glass level indicator and float type level indicator. And in indirect method there are two types of methods are there: electrical methods and hydrostatic pressure type. So, in this chapter of level measurement, we will focus on mostly indirect methods. So, in that, we have started electrical methods, and in electrical methods, there are also three types: resistive, inductive, and capacitive. So, we have already seen resistive type methods, and in that, we have discussed different methods of resistive technique for level measurement. Now we will see the capacitive method for level measurement. It is also called level indicator. So this is an electrical method for measuring the and indicating liquid level in industries. Types of capacitive methods. There are three types of methods are there for capacitive type level indicator. One is variable area method, another one is capacitive voltage divider method, and third one is variable dielectric constant method. So these are the methods we are going to discuss in some detail. Now, what is the principle for capacitive method? The operation is based upon the familiar equation of a parallel plate capacitor. We know the equation of parallel plate capacitor is C is equal to epsilon A upon D, where C is capacitance and its value is in farad. Epsilon is a dielectric constant. Capital A is area of plate, and we know that the unit of area is meter square. Capital D is distance between two plates in meter. So these are the parameters included in this well-known equation. C is equal to epsilon A upon D. Therefore, if A and D are constant, then the capacitance is directly proportional to the dielectric constant, and this principle is used in the capacitance level indicator. So we can see from this equation, if both A and D are constant, then capacitance is directly proportional to dielectric constant. It means epsilon, and this principle is used for capacitive level measurement. Now, first method we will see is variable area method. So it is used for measurement of levels of both solids and liquids. Here we can see figure. There is one tank, this one is one tank. Then liquid is filled in this tank as a dielectric, and in this tank there is insulated capacitance probe is there, and this probe is connected with this insulator and connected with this tank. So This is a capacitance measuring instrument calibrated in terms of liquid level. So this instrument is calibrated in terms of liquid level, and we can see this connection is given here. Now start with construction. The electrical conducting container holds the material. It means this container is electrically conducting and it holds the material. We can see here the material is held. A metal rod completely covered by insulating material is placed inside the container. So we have already seen that one metal rod is placed inside the container. The metal rod and the container walls form the two plates of the capacitor. So here we can see, here we can see this rod is considered as one plate of capacitor and container is electrically conducted material. So container is taken as a second plate of capacitor. Now the insulating material acts as the dielectric medium. So insulating material will act as a dielectric medium. Here we can see in between these two there is an insulating material. Now what is working? When level of liquid in the tank rises, the capacitance varies linearly with the height of the material. Okay. Then relationship between level of liquid and the capacitance is given by C is equal to 2 pi epsilon h upon log d2 upon d1. So this is the relationship between level of liquid and the capacitance. Now what is epsilon? It is permittivity of the insulator. Then h is the height of the material in meter, d1 is the diameter of the metal rod in meter, and d2 is the diameter of the insulator in meter. So from this equation we can find the capacitance. Working, the increase or decrease of capacitance is measured and is displayed on the indicator calibrated in terms of liquid level. So whenever there is a change in capacitance, it is displayed on indicator, and this indicator is calibrated in terms of liquid level, because capacitance is changed due to the change in liquid level. So we can directly calibrate this capacitance with this indicator. Now second method is capacitive voltage divider method. This is very important method because it is asked in exam so many times. So it is very important question. In this case we can see there is a two plates are there. One is P1 and it is known as auxiliary anode. This one is P1 and it is considered as auxiliary anode. Then second one is P2, it is reference anode, and output is taken from this container. This one is the container and this reference anode. So output is taken in between these 2 points, and source is given to the auxiliary anode and container. So source will be AC type. So this is the arrangement for capacitive voltage divider method. Now we will see in some detail how it works and all these things. First we will see construction. The liquid surface acts as one electrode for liquids whose conductivity is high. So here we can see liquid level is here. So this level will consider as one plate. Then the other electrode is a fixed reference plate parallel to the surface of the liquid. One electrode will be the surface and the other electrode is a fixed reference plate and it is parallel to the reference of liquid. Here we can see this is the P2 and it is reference unit. So its distance is fixed. It means it is not moving any side. An auxiliary electrode P1 is placed at a fixed distance above the reference electrode P2. So here we can see this is the reference electrode P2 and at some distance we can see there is auxiliary electrode auxiliary anode P1 and distance between this is known and it is also fixed distance. It means there is no change in this distance. The two electrodes P1 and P2 are electrically insulated from each other. It means there is no electrical connection between P1 and P2. So it is electrically insulated. An AC voltage is applied between the liquid and the electrode P1. So here we can see electrode P1 is here and here is the liquid. So there is a given AC source is given. So an AC source is applied between liquid and electrode P1. Okay. Next, how it works. As the level of the liquid in the tank varies, the capacitance C2 varies. It means C2 is inversely proportional to the distance between the liquid surface and electrode P2. So whenever the liquid level varies, what will happen? Capacitance C2 varies. It means C2 is inversely proportional to the distance between the liquid surface and electrode P2. The potential of electrode P2 with respect to earth is E0 is equal to EI into C1 upon C1 plus C2 volts. Because two capacitors are there, so we have to take this formula. E0 is equal to EI into C1 upon C1 plus C2. So this is the way that we get output. The output voltage decreases with rise of liquid level. It means if the level of liquid is rises, then output voltage will be decreases. So it is its relationship is inversely proportional. Therefore, a non-linear relationship exists between them. So this relationship will consider as a non-linear. Now, third method for capacitive measurement is variable dielectric constant method. So, here we can see one figure is there, tank we can see, then insulated metal electrode is there and some liquid is there in a tank and here to measurement or control circuit. It means output is given to the measurement or control circuit. And in a second figure we can see two metal electrodes are there and other things are common. So in a first figure there is only one insulated metal electrode. In second figure there are two insulated metal electrodes are there, and the tank will be metal tank, and liquid filled in this tank is considered as a dielectric. And we can see some insulator in between these two electrodes. Now if the liquid is non-conducting, it is used as a dielectric in a capacitor. If non-conducting liquid is there, then it is used as a dielectric in a capacitor. Now construction. An insulated metal electrode firmly fixed near and parallel to the metal wall of the tank. So we have already seen in figure that one metal electrode is fixed near and parallel to the metal wall of the tank. Okay. The electrode and the tank wall form the plates of a parallel plate capacitor. We have seen this in previous case also. The tank will consider as one plate and electrode will consider as a second plate. So these two plates will be considered as parallel plate capacitor. The liquid in between them acts as the dielectric material if the liquid is non-conductive. So we have already discussed this. If the liquid is non-conductive, then we can consider this as a dielectric material. If the liquid is conductive in nature, the metal rod and the liquid form the plates of the capacitor. So if liquid is conductive type, then this liquid will also consider as one plate of capacitor. The insulation between them is the dielectric medium. So insulation between these two will be considered as a dielectric medium. Now working, the capacitance of this capacitor depends upon the height of the dielectric between the plates. It means the liquid level. So the capacitance of this capacitor depends upon the height of the dielectric between the plates. It means height of dielectric, it is nothing but height of liquid level. So as the level of the liquid increases, the capacitance increases. Thus the capacitance is proportional to the height of the liquid in the tank. So here the relationship is in directly proportional. The capacitance thus measured is an indication of liquid levels. So the capacitance will be the indication of the liquid levels. Now advantages of using capacitive level measurement technique. Useful in small system, then very sensitive. Moving parts are not exposed to fluid. Then suitable for continuous indication and or control. Say in some industry there is a need of continuous indication or continuous control. For example, in petrochemical industries or in furnaces. So in such type of industries there is some continuous indication is required. So at that time this type of capacitive measurement is useful and it is suitable. Remote adjustment of span and 0 is possible. Then good for use with slurries. See, if liquid is not pure liquid and it is a slurry type liquid, then also we can use it. Probe materials for most corrosive fluids are available. So there are different probe materials are available. Now disadvantages. Performance is severely affected by dirt and other contaminants as they change the dielectric constant. The changes, see, performance is affected by dirt and other contaminants as they change in dielectric constant. Due to the dirt, there is a change in dielectric constant, and we know that if dielectric constant is changed, then capacitance is also changed from the equation of parallel plate capacitor. So this can be considered as a disadvantage. Changes in temperature affects the sensitivity. If there are changes in temperature, then it will affect the sensitivity. So this can be also considered as a disadvantage. Then measured fluids must have proper dielectric strength. So if the measured fluid is not proper dielectric strength, then we cannot use this method. Recalibration is required if measured materials changes in composition or moisture content. So if there are changes in moisture content or any changes in materials, then we have to do recalibration, because the calibration is there is error in calibration due to moisture. So we have to do recalibration. Then probe length and mounting must suit the tank. So probe length and mounting should be suitable with the tank. So these are the some limitations or disadvantages of capacity level measurement. So today we have seen three methods of capacitive method. One is variable area method, another one is capacitive voltage divider method, and the third one is variable dielectric constant method. So we can use all these methods for measurement of level in industries. Thank you.